Hello and welcome to Members on the Mic with the Troy Chamber of Commerce, where we connect with Troy Chamber members as they give us a glimpse into their company and share some of the business lessons they've learned along the way. Hi everyone, I'm Tara Thompson-Cusack, President and CEO of the Troy Chamber of Commerce, and I'm joined today by my lovely and amazingly talented co-host and Vice President of the Chamber, Sheila Denstead.
Oh my. Hi everyone.
First, I'd like to take a moment to thank our presenting sponsor, Trion Solutions. Stay tuned for our very first commercial break, where you can learn how you can rely on Trion. So Sheila, we have a very fun guest today. Can you give us a little glimpse of who we're meeting with?
We do, and I would hate to tell you it's a little glimpse because I just felt that we need to hear all of this because it's way too important to skip. So if you'll bear with us. Today we're meeting with Bernard Parker III, Vice President of External Affairs with SMART. Now, we've all wondered what SMART means, so I'm going to tell you. It's the Suburban Mobility Authority for Regional Transportation.
That just rolls right off the tongue. Well done.
He oversees the marketing and communication, customer care, and external affairs ombudsman for ombudsperson. For Wayne, Oakland, and Macomb counties.
Yes.
Bernard's areas of concern are responsible for public-facing events and projects, SMART's branding, and its overall customer experience for its ridership.
Yes.
He earned a BA in Public Administration from Siena Heights University in Adrian and received his formal training as a legal assistant from the American Institute for Paralegal Studies and has enjoyed an exciting career in public administration, law, and business development.
Sheila really loved that one. We actually talked about it. She's like, I didn't know this. So it was very exciting.
Well, and then it gets even more fun because now we get into some of the cool stuff you've done and the accolades.
All right.
He's worked tirelessly on political campaigns, both local, state, and federal.
Yes.
Bernard served as Mayor Dennis W. Archer's task force for City of Detroit's Purchasing Ordinance and Revision Committee.
Yes.
That needs an acronym.
Yes.
For his valued public sector efforts and hard work during his professional career, Bernard's received several awards, including World Class Service Award, given personally by Mayor Archer, the Spirit of Detroit presented unanimously by Detroit City Council under the late Honorable Mary Ann Mahaffey, Council President, and most recently, the Michigan Chronicle Men of Excellence Awards in January of 22.
Yay.
I told you.
I love it. That was my favorite.
Aww.
All right. Well, then in January 2015, Bernard had the wonderful opportunity of accepting an appointment by Warren C. Evans as Wayne County Commissioner and later appointed as Deputy Chief of Staff, holding both positions simultaneously.
Yes.
Dude, so impressive.
Thank
Welcome.
You.
So you're not busy
Fun.
at all.
I love government.
Yeah. No. Seems slow. Your whole seems quite boring.
It can be.
So, Bernard, thank you so much for joining us. Obviously, you have an amazing experience and awards and all these amazing things that you've accomplished. But
Thank you.
What brings you to choose a career in transit?
So I'll tell you this. Since November 2022, right, citizens of Macomb and Oakland County voted overwhelmingly not to have opt-outs in the communities anymore. Everyone wanted transit. Wayne County still has some opt-out communities. Since then, we've had new leadership, Dwight Farrell, who's our general manager, and Tiffany Gunter, who's truly brought a different spirit, a different love to transit, right? It's not about the buses. It's about the economic development. It's about the people. It's about how do we connect to our communities, our region. And it was just by happenstance that I fell into transit, literally. Met Dwight Farrell for the very first time, shook his hand, and he said, "You, young man, I need you to work for me." And I'll be honest with you all.
You're like,
we were at the Detroit Policy Conference. And so, Sheila, I looked around and I said, wait a minute, I'm being punked, right? No one gets a job this quick. And he says, no, I need you to be my Vice President of External Affairs, new position. When can you start? And so for me, the love of transit you asked about, my sister used paratransit in the city of Detroit. She was other disabled. And so to be able to link that, and she's since passed, to be able to help other kids, other people who need transit, who doesn't have to rely on mom and dad to get where they need to go. For those invisible folk that we call who need to get back and forth to Somerset Mall or to a restaurant or to a hotel over at the Marriott. And then also, as Mayor Baker does his thing, we think about those businesses, right? Those businesses that are thriving along those corridors, around Crooks Road, Big Beaver, and just on the outskirts of it. those folk need people to come to work. And so that's why I love transit.
Well, and it's an opening environment too, because we have to look at making sure transit is in the forefront because we're seeing a lot of traffic and congestion.
Yes.
It's nice when we see less vehicles on the road and we get to actually be able to get to work on time. There's so many new routes. There's so many great things happening. And there's a lot of employees that we talk to that work in our restaurants, that work in our hotels, that rely on public transit. So it's such an important and impactful job. And I don't think people really register that.
It's really exciting.
It is.
Especially
and you know
right
what?
now.
Buses, for some folks, you think of transit as boring. But if you go to any major city, Chicago or DC or Las Vegas, even San Francisco, when it was really at the booming time, they all had transit. New York, people took rail, they took bus, right? Unfortunately, when you come here to Michigan, we sometimes forget that both cars and transit can coexist.
100%.
And so that's our goal, right? Is to make transit fun, reliable, safe, on time. We're not perfect. We have a long way to go. But we're doing our very best. It's smart.
Love it.
And we're seeing it.
Thank you.
What's the most single important thing you've learned as the VP of External Affairs for a transit authority? What can you share with our listeners?
Good one.
Oh my God, I wish we had a couple hours to talk about
You just go ahead. We'll sit back.
So for me personally, it's about the people. The other day, my boss, Dwight Farrell, gave me a really great compliment. And what he said is, Bernard has the ability to hire great people. So as a leader, we get things done through others. And without those others, we're competent, we're qualified, we're passionate, we're exciting, we're fun to work with. You can't get anything done. And so I've learned I have to have the best folks who are willing to learn, who are willing to accept mistakes, correction, who understand that I'm human too. You know, sometimes if I don't come in, and my staff will tell you, if I don't have that second cup of coffee, or if I've been out all night in an event,
We understand.
I'm not the nicest person. But for me as a leader, my ability to be able to have sympathy and to have empathy, when I make a mistake, I know how to say, look, guys, I apologize. I was wrong.
Yeah.
And then the last thing is inclusivity, right? It sounds very corny, but I tell my staff that even though I'm the vice president of external affairs, we sit at the round table. And if you remember King Arthur, he never sat at the head of the table. It was a round table. And all his knights knew he was king, but everyone had a position to play. And that's what I try to communicate to my staff, real talk.
Well, and if you're opening up that environment for conversations and to be a part of a team is very different than to lead.
Yes.
You're leading, but everyone has the opportunity to be a leader in their own right.
Yes, and they are. They have their roles and responsibilities, and they'll be held accountable. But I want it to be fun, and I want it to be result-oriented for the people that we serve.
I mean, you seem kind of fun, so yeah.
I have my moments.
All right, everyone, this is a great moment to take a quick commercial break and hear a word from our presenting sponsor, Trion Solutions. We'll be right back.
I'm Joe Vicari, President and CEO of the Joe Vicari Restaurant Group, which encompasses 24 restaurants throughout the country. Trion's able to provide for our employees health insurance, 401ks, vacation time. All of that helps us compete against larger companies for top talent. Happy employees make for great service, and that's what our restaurants are known for. That's why we rely on Trion.
You can always rely on Trion.
Welcome back to Members on the Mic with the Troy Chamber of Commerce. We are here with Bernard Parker from SMART. We all learn from our mistakes.
Oh, yes, absolutely.
So what mistakes and adversity shaped your experience in both how you work in transit and things beyond that in life?
Life experiences. I guess as a 55-year-old professional who's had a few jobs, you learn what not to do. You learn how to ask questions. You're not afraid to make a decision, knowing at the end of the day, if that's a wrong decision, you know how to learn from that decision. Again, I have two great bosses whom I consult. I have staff that I consult with. My staff would tell you, while I lead marketing and communications, I'm not a marketing expert. It's not what my degree is. It's political. And so I don't have a problem with asking staff, hey, what do you think about this? And sometimes they'll say, we can't do that, Bernard. Not a problem. And so I learn from it, right? Again, it's just the ability to be able to open up and not think of yourself as the only person leading a team. It's not about me, it's about SMART. And that's what I convey to my staff. It's not about the individual. It's about those customers, the riders, right? Our businesses that we serve. And then if you think about it, the Southeast Michigan area. So.
Well, and there's a difference between running a company and running an impact that's changing the world.
Yes.
There really is. And so, like, while you can address it in a company perspective, obviously we all have our corporate responsibilities that we look at, but you're creating an impact for people. You're opening doors for people. You're opening opportunity for people. So I think there has to be a little difference. So I respect the political side of you. Well, it may not be marketing. You understand a bigger picture.
I try.
So.
Yes.
Well, kind of falling on that, you know, you talk about new routes, you talk about things changing. Congratulations on 492 came to Oakland County.
Yes.
It's going to open up that corridor going up Woodward into Rochester, Rochester Hills through Troy. Can't leave Troy out.
Yes.
So we're very excited about that because, again, that's going to not only help, it's going to help all of our members, let's be honest.
Yeah.
What do you think those people that just opened that door up don't know about public transit? What should they know?
So what I'd be remiss because our Oakland County executive, we used to be Mayor Ferndale. So we go through Ferndale and Royal Oak as well.
Okay. Sorry. Apologize.
And so what I would say about those folks that don't know about transit, you know, transit is still pretty much new here, right? And think about Oakland County specifically, where we had some communities that didn't have transit. Times are changing. As our children come back from school and we try to figure out how to keep them here as opposed to leaving out of the state, they're really the ones that want the connectivity, the diversity. They want the ability to be able to take a bus, say, from Oakland County to Wayne or Wayne back to Macomb. They want to be able to enjoy the concerts and go to the different malls and, you know, the fireworks and all that stuff in different areas. And so they're the ones that's really pushing transit. And so we try to capitalize on that. The other thing is that we're having is various campaigns. So through transit, what we want to do is help new folks understand that there are really great opportunities to work in transit. And so we have a 40 and 40 under campaign where you can be a mechanic, a bus driver, you can be an ombuds person, you can be a marketing person, you can go into accounting, you can go into law, whatever it is within transit. And then we also encourage our staff personally to become more involved with transit organizations, and so that they can meet like people, bring those ideas back home, and then help spread those ideas back out to Southeast Michigan to help folks understand what transit is all about.
That's all encompassing. You're hitting the community and you're hitting your employees.
Yes.
Now, also, I want to hit on, because I know it's important to me, and as I've talked to others, affordability. You left that out. Let's talk about how it's less than certain driving services, Uber or Lyft or something.
Oh, very much.
So here's the thing, you're absolutely correct. I believe our bus rides is about $2. We have something called Flex, which is similar to an Uber or Lyft.
We see it all the time
share.
driving down Big Beaver. It's very exciting.
Mayor Baker said, hey, now you know you have to expand your zones, right? Currently, we have 5 zones, and SMART is looking to open it up to all of Southeast Michigan. The other thing is we're developing an app, right? Which you'll be able to go on your phone, and you'll be able to look at the different modes of transit, and then it also hooks up or will link up with the city of Detroit. So we're looking for regional connectivity, right? And so you'll have a choice whether you want to take a connector bus or a fast route bus, or you want to do a flex similar to Uber or Lyft. It's just so many different modes of transportation that you can take to get you to and from.
That's just so great to hear.
Thank you.
So I remember I used to live in New York.
Yes.
And I used to have to take the subway train to the bus to then walk 3 blocks. But there was no other way other than walking like 30 something blocks to get to my job. Now, we're the Motor City, so a little bit different. So I remember coming back from New York, and that was the one thing I missed the most, being able to read a book while I got on the subway and got to work. And it was a really great moment. So we have a perception that we are the Motor City. We're only about cars. How is SMART and how are you guys all working to change that perception to bring transit to exactly where you're saying, technology, be able to access it at any times, grow this market? How are you working to change these perceptions?
Great question. So one of the things we've coined is something called smarter mobility. We've hired a consultant to start to take a look at our bus routes, our ridership, our connectivity in terms of where the buses are going and coming, as y'all said, how many people are getting on the bus. Yeah. For instance, if I have an area where only 5 folk are riding, it doesn't make very much sense to have a bus in that area. Maybe I should shift it over. The other thing is awareness. We're doing huge social media campaigns. You've probably seen some of our buses out where we're doing the National Arab American, we're doing the National Asian Pacific Islander, we're doing the National Jewish American, we had Black History, and my favorite were Women in Transit. Mm-hmm. And so what we're doing is really trying to bring a fun awareness to transit, and so folks can really take a look at it. The serious part of it is we're doing a national campaign. And so part of my external affairs hat as vice president, I'm in D.C. all the time, talking to our legislators, whether it's on the Senate side or the congressional side, and even here in the state of Michigan, to help our state reps and our state senators understand how important transit is. And we need those monies to be able to do what we need to do to fund transit, right? Case in point, real quick, I was in Orlando for a conference, and I actually took a trolley. And what I noticed was it was all kinds of folks lined up in Orlando to take transit. There were folks that were there to enjoy Disney. There was folks to enjoy the conference. You had a man in a suit with his briefcase. I mean, he was dapper, really, but he was there to use transit. So why isn't Michigan like that, right? Why is there sort of that segregation that you have to have a car versus a bus? Or, Sheila, if you take a bus, you must not be well-to-do. So, in closing, I was in D.C., and I sat next to a gentleman in the Hamilton a restaurant, and he says, let me tell you about transit. He said to me very clearly, he said, wealthy people take transit. Poor people have cars. And I said, well, wait a minute.
Explain.
He says, because as a wealthy person taking transit, the monies that I spend buying a new car or insurance or paying for parking, depending on where you live, I can then take those same dollars and put them over here on the other side. Yeah. And I can go to a restaurant, I can travel, I can invest, I can do all kinds of things. He said, Bernard, because I take transit, I eat out every night in Boston. And you know, Boston, and I stay one of the better areas. I said, huh? I said, but we, in Michigan, we all use cars. He said, we read about insurance rates all the time. Yeah. Y'all can't get the EV stuff together, which is a great thing, by the way. But you still don't have that choice that we have, and you got to change that mindset. And that's what we're trying to do at SMART.
I love it.
Thank you.
Again, I'm mesmerized. Thank you. Thank you so much for being here today and talking with our listeners. If you could leave them with something, with a nugget of information they can run away with, what would that be?
Be smart and take SMART. Remember smarter mobility. SMART is fun. It's happening and it's cool.
Wow, I feel smarter just hearing that.
Thank you. I had so much fun. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Bernard. That's all we have here today on Members on the Mic with the Troy Chamber of Commerce. If you are interested in joining the Chamber or looking for some upcoming events, go to troychamber.com. Special thanks to our presenting sponsor, Trion Solutions. Thanks, everyone, and have a great rest of your day. Bye now.
Thank you.